Hi, fourth graders. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to having another wonderful week working on some of our skills in grammar. So, this week we're going to be actually working on two skills. The first skill is verbs, and the second skill is titles. So, I hope you listen to the whole video so that you make sure that you understand everything you're to do this week. Okay, to begin with, we're going to talk about verbs. And I know you've heard that word before, and you probably can tell me that a verb is an action word. It's the part of the sentence that tells the action, what the subject is doing, or what the subject is. So that's what I give you here a little bit, is a little bit of a definition of what a verb is. It tells what a noun does or is. It often is at the beginning of the predicate of the sentence, which is what we talked about last week. I believe so, a week and a half ago. And also, the other thing is that I want you to be aware of is that verbs often have different forms depending on the tense. So we need to be careful about that because often we have different tenses of our sentences or our writing, and we need to use the correct verb for that. So those are the things I need you to know about a verb. And I gave you some examples here. And the first sentence I wrote is, I put up my Christmas tree on Saturday. Today's Sunday. So that was something that I did in the past. You can see that I use the word put because it's something that I did in the past. Then the second sentence, obviously I'm not doing this right now, but when I wrote this, I was kind of in the middle of hanging some ornaments on the Christmas tree. And so when I'm writing a sentence like that, I am using the word am, which is actually what we call a helping verb, which I'll be talking to you about that in a future lesson. And often we use the word am when we're talking about present tense. So we need to be careful when we are writing. If I just said I hanging some ornaments on the tree, it doesn't sound right. And then the last example I have here, I will finish decorating for Christmas, is something that will happen in the future. So will is in front of the word finish so that you can know that that's something I'm going to do, not something I'm doing or have done. Okay, so those are your examples, and I'm going to explain to you about the work that you're going to do this week. And on the schedule, I have down for you to do this first page on Monday. And this gives you some background. It says a verb tells what the subject does and gives you the examples of run, take, or smelled. Okay, obviously, smelled would be a past tense word. It said a verb can include more than one word. There may be a main verb and a helping verb. Can come, has baked, am walking, which is what I talked about a little bit before. And so what you're going to do is you're going to read each sentence and find the verb, write it on the line provided. Super easy. It's all you have to do there. The first sentence is, the white cat sleeps on the sofa. So your subject of this sentence is the white cat. What does the white cat do? It sleeps. That is your verb. And the whole predicate, sleeps on the sofa. Okay, so I just kind of told you what to do for number one. This should take you very little time. After that, I want you to do a little bit of writing, and it says talk to a parent or another trusted adult about fire departments. Who pays the firefighters? What kind of training do they get? Then write a paragraph about why you think fire departments are important. Edit your paragraph to make sure each sentence has a subject and a verb, and please make sure you're using your verbs correctly. Now, on Wednesday, I actually have 2 pages for you to do. The first one here is where it's going ahead explaining things to you again. An action verb tells what the subject does, did, or will do, and about the different tenses. Okay, so I underline this. It says read each sentence and circle the action verb, and on the line write past, present, or future to name the tense of each circled verb. So let's do number 1 together. The angry baby cries loudly for her bottle. So I would take the circle here and I would put it right over this word here, cries. So what does the angry baby do? The angry baby cries. Now, because it's cries, I'm going to say that that's something that's happening in the present. Okay. So this page is super easy. I don't think anyone should have any difficulty with this at all. There's also a second page, though, on Wednesday. And what this is, it says tell whether each word is an action verb or a noun. So you have to identify whether it's a noun or a verb and write the word action verb. You can just write verb, that's fine, next to each action verb, and write the word noun next to each noun. So, for example, swims. Hopefully, you know that that would be a verb. Okay, so you would just have to write verb in that box. And then on the bottom, it says write a sentence with an action verb to describe each picture. Underline the action verb. So you're going to look at each picture. You're going to write one sentence. It should be at least 8 words. So remember that. And in order to get full credit, you'll have to write 8-word sentences for each of these 3 pictures. Okay. So that should not be difficult. And then on Thursday, since we do have a short week this week, I do have one more assignment that I want you to do, which is part of our lesson for this week. And it's talking about titles. And I know you've probably heard this before, but I see that you guys are having some difficulty understanding how to punctuate titles. And so what you do here is it says underline or italicize titles of television shows, movies, books, and albums of songs and names of newspapers and magazines. The Wizard of Oz, you can see, is italicized. The Global Weekly is underlined. It says to use quotation marks around titles of stories, articles, essays, songs, and poems. Those are shorter, okay? So that's how you can tell the difference. A book or a movie or a album of a song, those would be they're italicized or underlined. If it's just a part of that, if it's the titles of the shorter stories within a book or an article, a song, you just use quotation marks. And you need to remember, too, to capitalize every word in a title except articles, conjunctions, and prepositions that are not at the beginning or end of the title. Those are those little words, those small words, as in, of, at, the. You don't need to capitalize those. But any of your nouns or verbs or adjectives, those need to be capitalized. So do the best you can on this. I'm going to be looking to make sure that you're following the basic rules. If it's a name of a book, a movie, a TV show, underline it. If it's something like a smaller thing, like an article or a song itself, you're going to use those quotations. As always, if you have any questions or concerns or need any help, let one of your teachers know. We'll be happy to help guide you through this. Understand this is due on Friday. We don't have school on Friday, but it will be a remote planning day for us, and it will be a day where you can get some things caught up. So hopefully you'll have a wonderful week, and I will see you tomorrow at school. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.